What if I told you there's a hidden Jedi Temple in plain sight in the first episode of Skeleton Crew? And no, I'm not talking about the starship Wim mistakes for a temple. I believe there's actually an ancient Jedi Temple hidden right in the middle of At Attin, and in this video, I'm going to explain why. Before we get into the theory, please make sure to like the video and subscribe to my channel for all my latest Star Wars content. We're so close to reaching 1,000 subscribers, and there's no better time than now to join our growing Star Wars community. Now, from the very beginning of Skeleton Crew, we're introduced to the character Wim, who we learn is obsessed with Jedi. Throughout the episode, we see Wim playing with Jedi and Sith action figures, having pretend lightsaber duels with his best friend, and reading legends about the Jedi on his story pad. He basically tells his entire class that he wants to be a Jedi when he grows up. And once Wim stumbles upon the buried starship in the forest, he immediately believes it to be a lost Jedi temple and attempts to convince his dad and the other kids as well. Later, when they get trapped inside the starship, Wim continues trying to convince his friends, explaining that some Jedi temples could lower themselves into the ground in times of danger, as seen in one of the stories on Wim's story pad. Per the translation posted by Star Wars Explained, the story details a group of Jedi using the Force to build a temple fortress with soaring towers that also had the ability to go into the ground during times of danger. And we've actually seen a Jedi temple bury and reveal itself before in Star Wars Rebels with the Jedi Temple on Lothal, and I think it's more than a coincidence that Wim teases this phenomenon in the show. And I believe this is also the case with the hidden Jedi Temple on At Attin as well. Curiously, there's a tall spire directly in the heart of At Attin City that figuratively and literally sticks out from the rest of the architecture. The majority of the buildings we've seen so far on the planet are very angular and modern per real-world standards, while the spire is narrow and tall with a bulbous portion about 3/4 of the way up, and I think this actually might be the spire of a buried Jedi temple. And it's also curious the emphasis that's placed on this tower in the shot right before Wim falls in the trench and discovers the starship. So for all we know, the story Wim is reading is actually about the Jedi Temple constructed on At Attin centuries ago that's laid dormant underground and kept secret from the planet's citizens. We know that the planet has been around since the time of the Old Republic, and that the Jedi Order of Old would erect outposts on various planets throughout the galaxy as seen in the High Republic storytelling, so it's entirely possible that a Jedi Temple would have been built on At Attin, and even more likely after learning that the planet was once known as the crown jewel of the Old Republic. We've also seen similar imagery with Monument Plaza on Coruscant, where the planet's highest mountain peak barely peeks through the planet's dense cityscape, blending into the architecture and hiding the true magnitude of the mountain beneath, which could very well be the case for the spire on At Attin as well. Another interesting connection I wanted to mention is that the colors of the story in Wim's story pad are also very similar, if not identical, to the colors of the barrier around At Attin, and I believe this might be an intentional choice behind the scenes. In the second episode, we learn that the pirates believe At Attin to be a lost planet of eternal treasure that could very well be hidden within the depths of the temple. The fact that the trailer teased a shot of treasure in what looks to be a temple, mixed with the Amblin, Pirates of the Carribean, and Indiana Jones theme and vibe of the show, make for a pretty good argument of the existence of a hidden Jedi Temple, or a hidden temple on At Attin at the very least. Looking at other Star Wars media, be it the Jedi Temple on Coruscant, the Massassi Temple on Yavin 4, which was actually a Sith temple, the Sith Temple on Malachor, or even the Temple of the Kyber on Jedha. Temples in Star Wars always have some sort of Force affiliation, and it wouldn't make sense for the temple on At Attin to be any different. Wim's discovery of the starship and the prospect of a hidden Jedi Temple also feels very in line with the stories of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor, so it's definitely a possibility, and one I believe the series is already hinting towards. Jedi Survivor also introduced us to the concept of underground Jedi meditation chambers, which is just additional supporting evidence towards my theory about a hidden buried Jedi Temple on At Attin. But what do you think? Could the mysterious spire on the planet actually be a part of an ancient hidden Jedi temple? Let me know in the comments or join my Discord to continue the conversation there. Make sure to like, subscribe, and consider following me on social media at Scotty Holiday SW for all my latest Star Wars content. I'll be covering every episode of Skeleton Crew on my podcast. This is The Wayseekers, so make sure to follow and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, may the Force be with you.